in front of our eyes. And now the crown jewel of socialism, the government takeover of healthcare, where the government literally controls us from cradle to grave. Because now you have yourself, your doctor, and I am told 159 bureaucracies between you and your doctor. Won't that be fun? And you thought going to the Department of Motor Vehicles was a hassle. Get ready. Like the gentleman said this evening, it is the IRS who will be enforcing this health care bill. Oh, God, help us. The IRS? You betcha. 16,500 IRS agents need to be hired to enforce this health care bill at a cost of $10 billion. And these geniuses didn't even fund the purchase of those 16,500 IRS agents. Thank God. So when we go in and retake the majority, that's the first thing we do. We defund Obamacare. And when we retake the Senate, we've got one more task in front of us. And that is, in 2012, we will make Barack Obama a one-term president. And retaking the Senate for Republicans and retaking the presidency for Republicans. That's not what it is about, and I'm a Republican. It is about taking it with constitutional conservatives. That's what we have to have. Constitutional conservatives. People who actually read the Constitution, who understand that our mission statement is the Declaration of Independence, and we aren't embarrassed by these documents, and we believe them and we enforce them. That's how we're going to go forward, because the American people have this much patience left for any political party. The American people have had it, and I don't blame them. They've had it, because the Republicans can't mess it up if they take it in. If they take over, they cannot mess it up, because now we just don't have time. We don't have time anymore. The window of opportunity is very slim. This year, for the first time, Social Security will put out more than what it's bringing in. It is effectively bankrupt, and we don't have the reserves to fund it. Medicare is absolutely dead broke within 7 years. In all likelihood, that is going to be sped up soon. How do I know? I have been reading the health care bill. They are planning to cut on Medicare, but also private employers are going to be cutting on the private benefits they've been offering to retirees. Why? They can't afford it. They can't afford it. Where are those people going to go? They're going to go on the Medicare prescription drug program, and Medicare is going to be dead broke that much sooner. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're in trouble. Just like Greece is bringing down the entire EU, the European Union. Yes. The leading economists in the United States, I had dinner with them about 3 weeks ago. They told me, Michelle, we are Greece in less than 10 years. We are Greece with our level of debt. Did you get the documents that I put on your chairs? I brought some handouts for you. I want you to take a look at one of them. It's a graph. And I should get off the stage here.
No. Keep at it, girl.
There is so much we could talk about. Take a look at this one, this graph. This caught my attention one day. I was just reading through something called Congressional Digest, and CQ, Congressional Quarterly. Take a look at this bottom graph. If this doesn't grab your attention, nothing will. Take a look. And it tells you what the debts are. That's when government spends more than what it takes in. That's the annual deficit. It begins with Jimmy Carter, goes to Ronald Reagan, George Bush, Bill Clinton. You can see when the Republicans took over Congress with Newt Gingrich, we actually had surpluses that worked pretty well. Bill Clinton with the Republican Congress. Then we had 911 hit under George W. Bush, and then the Iraq War started and we saw these deficits. Did George Bush spend too much? You bet he did. I was shocked and appalled. I hated No Child Left Behind. Federal government controlling the classroom? Are you kidding me? What a joke. One initiative after another that was ridiculous. He did spend too much money. But in his most egregious year, George W. Bush spent $459 billion more than what we brought in. Let's take a look at Barack Obama's last year. Seems to me that he campaigned on that big spending George W. Bush and that big deficit. Let's take a look at Barack Obama's first year in office. What? Over $1.4 trillion. As a matter of fact, if you go from the very first day that George Washington took office and take all of the debt that's been accumulated from George Washington through every single president until the day that George W. Bush left office, all 43 presidents, you take every bit of debt and combine it, it is less than what Barack Obama accumulated in 1 year.
1 year.
That's how stunning the debt accumulation is. And if you take a look, this year he is planning to spend us dry $1.6 trillion. Let me just give you a picture here. A million, think of a million in terms of time. A million seconds is 11 and a half days. A billion seconds is 32 years. A trillion seconds is 32,000 years. Just to give you context of how big these numbers, million, billion, trillion, what does it mean? It means the end of our country as we know it. That's what it means. And we are looking at doubling our national debt within 5 years. I mean, from the beginning of the country present, doubling it in 5 years, tripling it in 10. That's before this health care bill passed. President Obama wanted you to believe this thing cost something like $900 billion. What a joke. It's going to cost a minimum of $2.5 trillion. And those are the honest numbers. Most likely it will cost $6.5 trillion. We have no hope of being able to pay that off. And here we sit with over $100 trillion in unfunded net liabilities for Social Security and Medicare. I'll tell you who I really feel for, our senior citizens. That's who I feel for. Because we have vulnerable senior citizens who all they have between them and complete destitution is Social Security and Medicare, and that's it. They have got nothing. And in that case, they are looking at an insolvent system, and they have nowhere to go. And so we've got to right our ship. For the sake of those people, we have got to right our ship. And we cannot expand the welfare state anymore. Unbelievably, 3 days before this vote, President Obama said that he wanted to have amnesty for illegal aliens. And he wanted to give amnesty with the slaughter of the House rules, where we passed the bill without voting on it. Think of the signal he's sending. He wants to pass this takeover of health care. And then he's saying on the middle of that, a very unpopular bill, he wants to have amnesty for illegal aliens. Well, rather than 32 million more people that we have to pay for health care, it would be over 50 million people that we have to pay for. Because he can take a magic wand and go like this and throw pixie dust in the air and say, oh, now you're an American citizen. But that means then that all of those individuals would have the right for full access to welfare benefits. At Heritage Foundation, there's a leader named Robert Rector. Robert Rector has proved in his studies that today, if you leave welfare, you have to get a job making $44,000 a year to equal your benefit package on welfare. Imagine what that would mean in this country.